Hey everyone, welcome to my Downton recap. We had quite an eventful episode tonight, I think. So I've covered the continuing Bates saga on the written recap, so I won't touch on that here now. Just very quickly on the whole Daisy front, it was lovely to see Mr. Mason again. I do like him; he's so sweet, and they have a lovely relationship, so that was nice. So there seems to be quite a lot of tension downstairs at the moment among the servants, and I also think they're very conscious of the social change that's happening, in the with the Labour government and whatnot. So that will be interesting to watch. But I'm all about the upstairs, really, I have to say, because I like it, because it's posh and it's colourful and they wear nice clothes and they speak properly. So, tonight we had Rose and Atticus. Now, I like Atticus a lot. I nearly named one of my children Atticus. I didn't know that this Atticus existed at the time, but he's lovely. He's a real dear. He's very sweet. But no, I want Rose to be with Branson. That's what I want. Nobody else seems to want that except for Emmy, so who does the other recaps, so we, talk about that amongst ourselves. But they would be so right together, they'd be wonderful together. So Atticus proposed at the end of this episode, which is just ludicrous in my eyes. I mean, I thought I got engaged quickly, but, he's not known her very long at all, and he's already said that his father will need quite a lot of convincing because she's not Jewish, and she's already said that her mum will need a lot of convincing because he is Jewish. So we'll see how that all works out next episode, I think, from the little clip that we got at the end. So that's that. It is nice to see Rose happy. I quite like Rose. But meanwhile, Branson thinks that he's going to go away, and he was asking Sibby about it. She just seemed completely nonplussed, because I think that child spends her entire days shut in that nursery until she gets presented to Daddy. Same goes for George. Just come to Mama, and off he goes. And I don't think that Mary really has any real clue about parenting at all. So Edith, however, does have a clue about parenting. And tonight we saw Cora find out about the baby, not from Violet and Rosamond as they were going to do, but from Mrs. Drew, who got there first. Now, I'm in two minds about Mrs. Drew, because if someone turned up on my doorstep after I'd had a child for 2 years and said, I'm taking them now, I'd be devastated. But Mrs. Drew is slightly psycho. Anyway, so Cora hot-footed it to London with Violet and Rosamond in tow, and they brought Edith home. I think Robert would have had more to say about Marigold's arrival had it not been for Isis, which I will come to in a moment. So he kind of didn't care. Mary thinks it's odd, but then Mary just really hates Edith, I think, which is really sad, actually, because when they've lost a sister, and I have 3 sisters. I don't always get on with them, but I can't ever imagine hating them. And Violet pulled her up on her lack of compassion, actually, which is good, because if one of my sisters just disappeared, I'd be devastated. And I'd be doing all I could to find them. So I don't get... Mary seems very, very cold sometimes. And I think she's worse since Matthew has gone. Matthew. Anyway, so that was that. So Edith returned, and Marigold is now living in the nursery with the other children and will probably never see the light of day again. And Isabel, bless her heart, her Lord Merton's sons came for dinner, and they were so rude and so horrible, and well, we thought Miss Bunting was bad, didn't we? I wouldn't like to see them sitting at a table with Miss Bunting. No. I mean, they were just vile, and Tom saved the day. I knew one of them was going to go at some point. It was just a question of who would go first, and it was Tom. And he came to her defence in the best possible way, just by saying, "Why don't you shut up, you bastard?" And, I just really wanted to cheer for Tom, because he really cares for Isabel. In fact, Tom is a very caring person for everybody, and he stands up for what he believes in. And Robert said, I don't agree with his language, but I think he said what we all think. So, go Tom. But I felt really sad for Isabel, because she's obviously now doubting whether she should have accepted Lord Merton's proposal. And Violet's very sad about potentially losing her friend as she sees it, which is a shame as well. But the most gut-wrenching part of the entire episode was Isis, and I will get a little bit emotional, because pets just mean everything to me, and I don't think I could ever really, no, I've lost pets before, and it's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. And when he stood there with her in his arms at the end, and he said, "I'm going to sleep in the dressing room with her because I don't think she'll last the night, and I don't want her to be frightened." And see, there we go. And yeah, it just really broke my heart, because I love that dog as well. And Cora said, "Oh, bring her into bed with us," and bless her heart, I don't think we'll be seeing Isis again, and that's really sad. So Downton, you drew a lot of tears from me tonight for the dog. And that's it from me. Next week it will be Emmy with your recap, and I'll be back the following week. Possibly will have managed to pull myself together by then. So I'll see you all then. Bye.